What is your worth? I want you to stop whatever it is you're doing right now, and I want you to ask yourself this question. What is your worth? Because once you have a sense of self-worth, that's when everything else will fall into place. See, I'm just going on a little quick walk. Just got done leaving out of the gym. Just trying to clear my head for a bit because it's been a long day. But I have a very important question that I want to ask you in today's video, and that is, what is your self-worth? When I was growing up in Los Angeles, I knew a lot of people who was addicted to drugs. And I could never understand or figure out why. I always thought that these people had so much going for themselves. They had such bright futures. They had great potential. That there was so much that they could have done. And I never for the life of me really knew what it was about the drugs that was really pulling them in. But then I started to realize a little bit later on in my life that the reason why most of these people were addicted to drugs was because of the fact that they had a very low sense of self-worth. See, when you have a sense of self-worth that is very degrading, or you allow other people to tell you what your worth is, that's when you will fall victim to anything that is negative in this life. See, in many cases, you have to be your biggest support system out of any person, because when it comes down to other people, what happens a lot of times is they will give you their plans instead of you having your own plans, and the things that they have planned for your life is little to nothing. When I'm talking about identifying your sense of self-worth, I'm not just talking about, tell me how much money is in your bank account, because you're worth a lot more than that. When I'm asking you for your sense of self-worth, what I'm really asking you is, how do you value yourself and value your time? What is your time worth? What do you see in yourself that you should be doing from one day to the next? You might be having a job right now where you're working for only $5 an hour. Is that how much you're worth? This time, which is so precious that you're never going to get back, tomorrow's not promised to anybody. Is your time really worth $5 an hour? See, that's the reason why you cannot allow other people to dictate a time value for you, because even if the money hasn't come yet, you will know that if your time is important enough to you, in time, you're going to find yourself doing things within that hour that actually matches your value. So I give you a prime example. When I was in corporate America, a lot of people always told me, yeah, you know what? You got a really good job. And, what are you complaining about? You have this good pay. But I always understood, and I always realized that even in the way that I was spending my time during the hours that I was getting paid, there was so much more that I could have done. There was so many better things that I could have spent that time doing. And because of that alone, I knew that I had a higher sense of worth. I knew that despite what everybody else was telling me, despite what my boss was telling me, my family, my friends was telling me, a check was telling me, that didn't dictate my sense of self-worth. Some of you are allowing the media to dictate your sense of self-worth. You let them tell you what is cool, and then you alter your lifestyle, your looks, your fashions based upon that. Why should you allow anybody or any other person to dictate your sense of self-worth to you? Because if other people don't see you with the true value that you have, you're always going to be playing at a loss. You're always going to be selling yourself short. You're always going to be wasting your time because you are worth so much more than the BS that you're spending your hours on in a day. I really want you to follow me on this lesson. When you understand how to value your time and understand your sense of self-worth, every other thing will fall into place. Why is it right now that you hang out with negative people? Because you don't value your sense of self-worth. Clearly, if you loved yourself enough, you wouldn't allow these people into your life. But you tend to do it because you are a slave to what other people tell you you're worth. And that's why you don't know how to get rid of them. What is your sense of self-worth? If you know that you deserve better, why are you not doing better? See, when you know that you're worth better, that's when you'll do better. That's when you'll start better managing your time. That's when you'll start better managing your schedule, the people that you're hanging around with, the places that you're going, the things that you're spending your time doing. Every single thing that is going wrong with your life right now is the byproduct of how much you tend to value your own sense of self-worth. So what I want you to do is this very important thing for me right now. I want you to stop what you're doing, and I want you to leave me a comment below, and I want you to let me know, what is your worth? What is your worth? If you want to get better results out of life, value yourself enough to go out and get it. If you know that you could do so much better with your life, for your family, for your future, does your value and your sense of worth match your goals and your aspirations? Because big dreams and big accomplishments can only be attained by people who value themselves enough to go and get it. People who don't value themselves enough, they don't go get it. They sit back and they watch everybody else go get it while they're on the couch. They sit back and they watch everybody else make it and become somebody while they spend all day gossiping. They spend all day gossiping because they don't see themselves worth enough to play at a higher level. How much do you value yourself? And do you value yourself enough to do great things? Because at the end of the day, it's not about what I think about you. Because you are controlling the day. As much as God wills you to do so, you're the one that's making the decisions on when you get out of bed, when you go to sleep. The 16, 17, 18 hours that you're awake, you're the one that's deciding how you're using all 18 of those hours. So it really doesn't matter what your boss thinks about you, what I think about you, what anybody else thinks about you. This is about what you think about yourself. Don't let a check dictate to you your sense of worth. You dictate your own sense of self-worth. And when you set that sense of worth and you set the bar high because you know how great that you can be, that's when everything else will fall into place. So I want you to leave a comment. I want you to tell me, what is your worth? How much do you value your time? And then after that, what I want you to do is get off this video and get to work. It's time for you to be able to get serious about your day. Because guess what? You're never going to see this day again in your life. So if you let it go and you throw it down the drain, you just piss it all away, you got nobody else to blame but yourself. You don't have nobody else to blame. You were in the circles that you were in because you thought that you were worth those small level circles. You're in that bad job right now, guess what? Because you're not valuing yourself enough to make the change to get yourself in a better situation. If you value yourself enough, the results will follow. If you value yourself enough, the relationships will follow. If you value yourself enough, the blessings and the opportunities that God will give to you will follow. Because as you think in your heart, so are you. I want you to subscribe to this channel. I want you to always remember to give yourself a high sense of worth. And then I want you to stop thinking that and put it into actions, because actions is all that matters. Take care. I love you. Subscribe to this channel, and together we can change the world.